Analyze how soccer teams like Liverpool FC change their tactics when they're losing, showcasing loss aversion in high-pressure situations. Liverpool FC changes its tactics in 75% of matches when trailing at halftime. Loss aversion psychology drives teams to take more risks when behind, increasing fouls by 25%. Liverpool's average possession drops by 10% when losing, as they prioritize quick counterattacks. In high-pressure situations, Liverpool's players make 30% more aggressive tackles per game. The team's shots on target increase by 20% when losing, as they desperately seek an equalizer. Liverpool's win percentage increases by 15% when they adopt an aggressive, loss aversion-driven strategy. Experience the ancient nomadic traditions of Kyrgyzstan, a landlocked country in Central Asia. Kyrgyzstan's nomadic traditions date back over 2,000 years to the ancient Silk Road era. The country is home to over 40,000 nomadic families, many still living in traditional yurts. Kyrgyzstan's eagle hunting culture is a UNESCO-recognized intangible cultural heritage tradition. Eagle hunters train their birds to dive at speeds of up to 240 kilometers per hour to catch small prey. The Tian Shan Mountains, home to Kyrgyzstan's nomads, are one of the most biodiverse regions on Earth. Kyrgyzstan's nomadic traditions are a testament to the country's rich cultural heritage and resilience. Explore how Thomas Sowell, a renowned economist, argues that self-fulfilling prophecies contribute to poverty traps, citing the example of low-income students being tracked into lower-level classes, limiting their opportunities. Thomas Sowell, a renowned economist, argues that self-fulfilling prophecies perpetuate poverty traps. Low-income students are often tracked into lower-level classes, limiting their academic opportunities. These lower-level classes can lead to lower teacher expectations, further diminishing student potential. Sowell contends that these expectations become a self-fulfilling prophecy, trapping students in a cycle of poverty. This phenomenon is not limited to education, but also affects job markets and social mobility. Meet the brave men and women who risked their lives to contain the Chernobyl disaster, including Anatoli Dyatlov, Mikhail Gorbachev, and the liquidators who worked tirelessly to clean up the site. On the 26th of April 1986, a catastrophic explosion occurred at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine. Anatoli Dyatlov, the plant's deputy chief engineer, was in charge during the fateful night of the disaster. Mikhail Gorbachev, Soviet leader at the time, took drastic measures to contain the crisis, including evacuating 115,000 people. The liquidators, a team of 600,000 workers, risked their lives to clean up the site, many of whom suffered severe radiation exposure. The cleanup efforts took 20 months, with workers removing 200,000 cubic meters of contaminated material. From beer-soaked cakes to pickled sharks, discover the bizarre foods that ancient Egyptians enjoyed. Ancient Egyptians enjoyed beer-soaked cakes as a snack, often served at social gatherings. They ate a type of fermented fish sauce called sikaru to add flavor to their meals. Locusts were considered a delicacy and were often roasted or boiled as a protein-rich snack. Pickled sharks were a popular dish among ancient Egyptians, believed to have medicinal properties. Ancient Egyptians also consumed a type of porridge made from emmer wheat and dates. Honey was a prized ingredient in ancient Egyptian desserts, used to sweeten cakes and pastries. See the impact of Cyclone Idai on African elephant habitats in Mozambique, where the storm destroyed critical habitats and displaced wildlife. Cyclone Idai was one of the deadliest cyclones to hit Africa, killing over 1,300 people in 2019. The storm destroyed over 90% of Mozambique's Gorongosa National Park, a critical African elephant habitat. Elephants in the park lost their food sources, shelter, and migration routes due to the cyclone's destruction. Conservation efforts are underway to restore habitats and provide aid to displaced elephants, including food and water drops. The cyclone also affected human settlements, leaving thousands of people without homes or access to basic necessities. Relive the incredible moment when the underdog U.S. ice hockey team defeated the heavily favored Soviet Union team at the 1980 Lake Placid Olympics, a stunning upset that inspired a nation. The 1980 U.S. Olympic ice hockey team was composed of amateur and collegiate players. The Soviet Union team had won 6 of the previous 7 Olympic gold medals. The US team was considered massive underdogs, with odds of 1,000 to 1 to win gold. The Miracle on Ice game was played on the 22nd of February 1980 at Lake Placid. The US team, led by coach Herb Brooks, defeated the Soviets 4-3 inches, a thrilling upset. The US victory inspired a nation and became a symbol of American determination and teamwork. Learn about the influential artwork, The Ambassadors, by Hans Holbein the Younger, a painting that showcases the artist's mastery of symbolism and perspective, and discover how it impacted the art world. Hans Holbein the Younger's The Ambassadors is a 1,533 oil painting that showcases his mastery of symbolism and perspective. The painting features two wealthy and influential men, Jean de Dinteville and Georges de Selve, surrounded by symbols of their status. The most striking feature of the painting is the distorted skull in the foreground, a masterpiece of anamorphosis, a technique Holbein pioneered. The painting is filled with hidden symbols, including a broken lute string, representing the tension between faith and reason during the Renaissance. Uncovering historical figures like neurologist Dr. Face blindness, also known as prosopagnosia, affects 2 to 3% of the general population worldwide. Neurologist Dr. Oliver Sacks suffered from prosopagnosia, writing about his experiences in his book, Musicophilia. Dr. Sacks' face blindness made it difficult for him to recognize patients, sometimes causing awkward interactions. Another famous case is that of artist Chuck Close, whose prosopagnosia inspired new techniques in his portrait art. Prosopagnosia can be congenital or acquired through brain damage, affecting anyone regardless of intelligence or memory. Despite challenges, individuals with prosopagnosia often develop coping mechanisms, like relying on voice or context clues. See how the disparity between expectation and reality creates a self-fulfilling prophecy in areas like stock market predictions, where investors' expectations influence market performance, leading to boom and bust cycles. The gap between expectation and reality is a universal human experience, affecting decision-making in various areas of life. In the stock market, investor expectations influence market performance, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. When expectations are high, investors buy, driving prices up, and when they're low, they sell, causing prices to plummet. This cycle of expectation and reality has led to some of the most significant market crashes in history, including the 1929 Wall Street crash,